What up? Daniel Augustin here. I want to break down SMU versus Penn State. Or should I say SMH? What are we watching? I don't want to say I have no doubt. I'm not being paid by any podcast, any company, any network, etc. I have no dog in the fight when it comes to my affiliation. My real affiliation is to good ball. And we're not getting any good ball right now. You got 12 teams, so there's a limited amount of games. 4 games in the first round, 2 games in the next round. Or should I say, is it 4 in the first round, then you got 4 in the next round, and then you got 2, and then you got 1. We get, off the top, I think that's 11 games. 2 games done gone by. Worst games. I mean, the only reason I wanted to watch was for the sake of a possible upset, because it's the playoffs, and I'm excited about the playoffs. What the hell are we watching? First of all, I just want to say, I thought SMU came out pretty well, actually. That first drive, I thought, was not a bad drive. You know, when you look at the numbers, I mean, total yards, SMH, 253 total yards to Penn State's 325, but Penn State didn't really even have to do much on offense. They used a very limited amount of plays in their playbook, okay? Passing yards, SMU outthrew Penn State. I mean, that says everything as far as what I'm talking about. SMU with the 195 in the air to Penn State's 136. The rushing yards is really where Penn State solidified this win. Penn State with 189 to SMU's 58. SMU, 22 first downs. Penn State, 18. Third down, Penn State blows SMU out the water, 6 out of 13 to the Mustangs, 3 out of 14. Penn State never actually converted on a 4th down. They went 0 for 2. SMU had the ball. Well, there was a point in the game where they had the ball longer. But, you know, it comes out to just about even. Penn State had it for 31 minutes. Mustangs have it for 29. Really, this game is lost with the turnovers. The Mustangs threw 3 interceptions. I'm not going to make this long. The Texas game is coming up. I want to watch this. I wholeheartedly believe this game will be a lot more competitive. I'll just say that moving forward, there's got to be a more conservative effort. I don't even know if that's the right approach for this. There has to be a stronger effort at getting better teams in this tournament. It's got to be. It has to be. This can't continue. You can't just be forcing the conference championship loser into the game. Personally, I don't think the conference championship loser gets to be in the game. They shouldn't get to be in the game. In the playoffs. They lost. You got to win. Winning is the only thing that matters in the sport. All this, it was a close loss. And no, the only thing close losses teach you is that, well, it was a close game and it was somewhat of a competitive game. But there are a lot of teams that score a lot of garbage points and end up making things look closer than they actually are. So I don't understand rewarding that. I don't think SMU should have been in the playoffs, and I don't think there are going to be too many people who have too many different opinions. Strength of schedule should matter more so than what your ending record is. The strength of schedule has a lot to do with why your record is what it is. If Alabama wins all of their games, well, then they're number 1. But they lose a couple of them, and, you know, really where Alabama lost is in who they lost to. Losing to Vanderbilt, team that wasn't ranked when they lost to them, and then losing to Oklahoma, a team that struggled all season, wasn't ranked when they lost to them as well. I mean, you know, and the timing. But Jesus, I mean, I would low-key put up money for Miami and Alabama to have squeaked past this SMU mess, this Indiana mess. What are we doing? I mean, you know, college football, the committee, they're probably not too concerned because the contract's already set in stone. I'm not sure for how long. I doubt it's just for this year. So at the end of the day, I'm sure that they have their TV contracts in place for this year, next year, and whatever the contract, you know, whatever it says, I'm sure they're already locked in. So they don't have to be too concerned with the turnout and as far as who's watching and whatnot. But man, come on, man. I will say this, though. Penn State came out. They were very handsy. That defense wasn't messing around, man. They wasn't messing around. Okay, from the linebackers on down to the linemen. I really think SMU could have done well just straight up attacking the secondary. Attack them. Attack them. Don't be cute. Don't make everything depend on the rollout. Don't make everything depend on your running backs. Attack the secondary, because you already know you're going to be outmatched on the D line versus your O line. I don't care what you thought. You should know that. Okay, you going up against the Big Ten. You new to the ACC. It ain't no way in hell you done recruited everything you needed to really be where the Big Ten has gotten themselves after all these years of excellence. So play the game the way you've been winning games, with speed. You've been winning games with speed, not really power. It's been speed. It's been about speed. It's been about the fact that your quarterback can outrun people, your running back can outrun people, your receivers can outrun people. So you got to try to get into this game and really use what you got. And instead, I mean, they had a couple moments. They started off that first drive looking good. But the turnovers, man, I think the best thing that I could say that happens that you could take from this is that Kevin Jennings got himself a really good lesson in this game. He's going to come back next season a lot better. I'm hoping come back next season a lot better, more experienced, and he's going to be a better quarterback next season because he's going to have these experiences against two teams that they didn't play against. SMU should have played against Clemson. Where do you get off, SMU? Where the hell do you get off? Having this ACC schedule and you don't put none of the top dogs. ACC, Clemson is the only team in the ACC that's been competitive in doing anything in the past 10 to 15 years. Why the hell you not playing them? Why the hell they not on your schedule? Be real, be honest. You hiding. Why you ain't playing Miami? Why you didn't play Georgia Tech? You hiding from everybody. Okay, yeah, you put Florida State on there, and Florida State was ranked in the preseason as a top 25 team. So, I appreciate the fact that Florida State was on the schedule. And, once the season gets going, you don't really have any control of what everybody's doing, who started on the top 25 and where they went and where they ended up. NC State was in the top 25. Where they at? So, you really don't have no control from that point, from that point on. But I genuinely do not think that a conference championship loser deserves to just be in the conference championship. Get their ass out of there, man. I understand why Texas was in there, because Texas was ranked number 3 when they played Georgia or whatever they were ranked. They were ranked in the top. So even when you move them on down, they don't fall out of the top 12. All right. Got it. Good. Understood. Okay. And I'm not going to talk trash about Texas's schedule, because Texas too, they did put Michigan on the schedule. Even though Michigan didn't have the pieces, they put them on there. They put Georgia on the schedule. Even though Georgia whooped that ass, they put them on there. I appreciate putting teams on there. They put Florida on the schedule. Florida was just limping into that game. Everybody was injured. But they put them on there. So they had a schedule with teams that could trip them up, but none of those teams really could. They had Texas A&M on that schedule. Okay. Sometimes I've had moments where I wanted to talk about Notre Dame, but Notre Dame had Texas A&M on that schedule and they won that game. Texas A&M was on the verge of getting into the SEC championship game. What has SMU done for me lately? What have they done? What are they doing? They're not doing nothing. Nothing's happening. Nothing's coming from this. Look, I'm going to wrap this here. I want to get into this next game. I wanted to keep this short. I just really want to ask, what the hell we doing? What the hell y'all got us watching? What is we watching? Bro, we selling out on this Saturday. I mean, I woke up early in the morning to try to get to this because I went to bed late. I woke up early in the morning to get to this game, and this what the hell we watching? Oh, my goodness. Listen, I just hope Kevin Jennings learns from this. I hope he really bounces back. It's a shame that SMU season ends like this, but I would have preferred if they went to a bowl game. You should not be allowed to go into the college football playoff if you haven't played somebody that's currently in the top 25 or somebody who's in like the top 3 or 4 in your conference. You need to have played and won at least 2 or 3 of those games. Something like that. God, I would have preferred for Miami to have been up in this. Damn, I would have preferred for Alabama to have been in this. We're not watching nothing. So I'll say this much, though. The home team won their game. They were able to use the home field advantage. It definitely worked in their favor. And it just didn't work in our favor, the audience's favor. Nobody in the audience got a good game. That whole first game is you scrap that. Okay? If people was tailgating, they was wasting their time out there. If people at home ordered food to watch a good game, they wasted their money because it wasn't a good game unless you're a Penn State fan. But Because of my rant, I'm not saying anything good about Penn State. I will just say Penn State's defense really showed up and showed out. I expect that, though. I expect that because that's where the real mismatch is. SMU's D-line has been playing lights out all season. So they actually gave Penn State hell. Penn State really was only able to run the ball. But imagine if SMU had a good offensive game plan and was actually moving the ball down the field and scoring. Penn State might be in trouble in this game because you got to scrap at least 2 of these touchdowns off the board. And now you looking automatically at 24 to, let's say, SMU's however much points. I do believe SMU should have taken that first field goal because you're in a game where you're the underdog. So you need the points. And you need your team to be able to see we went down the field and we scored. We'll go down there and then we'll do it again. Got a little greedy. Didn't get that first 4th down conversion. Next time they get the ball, interception. Not just an interception, a pick 6. Next time they get the ball, not just interception, a pick 6. 14-0, and their offense didn't even have to get on the field. You can't win like that. I know they beat Duke like that early in the season, but this ain't Duke. This is not Duke. This is not the team who's in the middle of the ACC. This is not them. It's Penn State, Big Ten. Almost won the Big Ten championship. Come on, man. What are we doing? The committee they tried so hard and they didn't try hard enough. They weren't willing to be the bad guys this year because they were the bad guys last year and they wanted to be cute. What are we doing, man? No more of this conference championship compensation package. Yo, the right teams need to be up in here because it's just a mess, bruh. It's a mess. There ain't but 11 games left. Make them count now. Come on. What is this? Jesus.